Hey everyone! Tonight we're starting an exploration of one of history's most intriguing paradoxes. Imagine a culture so fixated on flawlessness that women cinched corsets until breathing was a challenge. Men handed out calling cards like permits for social bonds. And folks were so restless they spent cash to observe strangers sipping tea in mental institutions. This is real history. Step into Victorian England, where the surface shone with ideal order, but underneath, people were stifled by monotony, and the escapes they sought were truly captivating. Because when you suppress natural urges for too long, they erupt in inventive, often startling forms. Before we enter those elegant Victorian parlors side by side, let me pose a question. If this evening's tale stirs something in you, curiosity, astonishment, or perhaps a glimpse of your own experiences reflected in these old mysteries, would you think about subscribing? Only tap that like if the narrative genuinely touches you. I aim to deserve it. Also, drop a comment with your current time and location. Are you tucked in bed with headphones and low lights, or multitasking with chores like folding clothes or commuting after a tough day? I enjoy picturing the paths my words take. All right, settle in. Fluff that pillow. Let the outside world drift away. This evening, we're heading to 1850s England, and trust me, it's going to be quite an adventure. Let me set the scene. It's a Tuesday afternoon in London, 1855. Rain patters on high windows. In a lavish Mayfair townhouse, a woman rests in her parlor. Her name is Ella Lenana. I'm inventing it, but she stands for countless real women. She's in a gown that required 45 minutes for her maid to fasten. The corset beneath is drawn so snug that a full breath could cause a faint. It's occurred twice this month already. Ella Lenana is 26, wedded for 8 years to a solid banker who departs at 8 a.m. and arrives home at 7 p.m. She has 2 kids, but raising them herself is forbidden. That's the nanny's role. A woman of her class doesn't handle diapers or sniffles. It's unbecoming. So, what occupies Ella Lenana's day? This part always strikes me, and it might hit you too. She does virtually nothing, and voicing discontent is off limits. That would imply ingratitude, and in Victorian eyes, ungrateful women were more perilous than ill ones. They were threats. Let me guide you through Ella Lenana's routine to help you grasp it. Truthfully, during late-night research for these tales, I sometimes sense a strange tightness, as if her confined existence is closing in on me as well. She rises at 9. Her maid has prepared her outfit. She doesn't select it herself. Too many choices would demand excess effort for a lady's fragile nature. They truly held that women were too delicate for decisions. The paradox: these delicate women oversaw homes, directed staff, bore children repeatedly, and endured births, yet picking a blue or green dress was deemed overwhelming. Breakfast arrives in her room. She dines solo. Her husband left earlier. The children eat upstairs. Afterward, she moves to the morning room, not the parlor, that's for later. There, she engages in feminine pursuits like needlework. She might read, but nothing too engaging, no philosophy or politics, lest it tax her womanly mind. I'm exaggerating for effect, but they weren't. Medical publications cautioned that overthinking could harm a woman's fertility. No joke. By 11, a visitor might arrive if fortunate, but even calls followed absurd protocols. The guest sends a calling card first. Ella Lenana must be at home for guests, meaning receptive, not necessarily present. If she's not at home while actually inside, the visitor leaves. It's all a ritual, a stifling, draining one where rules are known but origins unquestioned. The call lasts precisely 15 minutes, no less, no more. They perch rigidly in the parlor, sipping tea from fine china pricier than a laboring family's yearly wage. Topics include weather, friends' well-being, or recent church messages. Avoid controversy. Politics shocking, finances crude, personal emotions unthinkable. What pains me about Ella Lenina and her peers is their sharp minds and curiosity. She sneaks peeks at newspapers her husband discards. She holds views on factory woes she's overheard. She ponders the wider world past her immaculate, spirit-draining parlor. But from childhood, she's been molded to suppress those ideas, to shrink, quieten, perfect herself. After a possible morning call, it's back to idleness. More stitching, perhaps piano practice, but nothing too intense. No fiery Beethoven, too emotional. Around 1, luncheon arrives. She eats alone again, modest portions per etiquette guides. Ladies lack hearty appetites. Ignore her hunger, the corset curbs that anyway. Hard to eat much without air. Afternoons grow truly grim. In fair summer weather, she might stroll in a park. But even walks had regulations. No brisk pace, that's unladylike. No frequent head turns, that hints at seeking male notice, akin to prostitution by social norms. Insane, right? Lift skirts with right hand only for puddles. Both hands? Outrageous. Dual ankles might shock onlookers fatally. If raining, and it's London, so likely, she remains indoors, gazing out windows at life unfolding. Perhaps she pens letters, an art in itself. Paper size, ink shade, seal method, all convey signals. One misstep sparks weeks of whispers. By 4, Ella Lenina is restless. Not climbing walls literally, that's improper. But in her immaculately styled mind, she's crying out, "Is this my whole existence?" This elegant jail where breaths are regulated, words measured, movements scrutinized. And here's the twist, she's fortunate. Wealthy with servants, security, a fine home. Working-class women toil in factories or scrub laundry until hands raw, feeding kids on scraps. But they possess what Ella Lenina lacks: purpose, sensible exhaustion. Ella Lenina's weariness stems from inaction, from being mere ornament. That's its unique torment. Pause and absorb this. Your life revolves around upholding an image. Can't be too clever, too vocal, too inquisitive, to anything. You're adornment in your own story, and costly, tightly managed one. Days blend identically. Same spaces, same codes, same oppressive uniformity. How would you cope? Where's meaning, thrill, even a spark of defiance? The Victorians learned, craft the loveliest cage with silk, gold, china. But the human soul is untamable. It won't stay put. It'll escape, even if risky, shocking, or mad by standards. Here our tale truly unfolds. Historians long depicted Victorians as stifled, dull, passionless figures, reciting scripture and swooning at piano legs. A myth, but believable. Recent studies reveal otherwise. Victorians weren't suppressed. They were fixated on intimacy. Victorian England churned out more adult material than prior times. Prostitution thrived. Divorce courts overflowed with infidelity. Best-selling books brimmed with veiled tension and outrage. Victorians weren't prudish. They enacted prudishness while indulging forbidden acts. Like discovering your strictest acquaintance leads a hidden, wild existence. The grander the perfection mask, the deeper the secrets. Boredom was the fissure that exposed it all. Excess time and rules send minds to taboo realms. You notice the unnoticed, feel the unfelt, crave the denied. For women like Ella Lenina, boredom radicalized. Endless drawing room days of empty talk, viewing life from windows, it sparked questions. Why can't I voice real thoughts? Why not stroll freely? Why no clothing choice? Why need spousal approval for a book? Why treated like prized livestock, not a person? Those queries were hazardous. Once begun, unstoppable. Men were bored too, but their trap differed. Rigid masculinity demanded strength, stoicism, dominance. No weakness, no doubt, no full emotions, less deemed feminine, the gravest slur for a Victorian man. So men fled differently. Clubs for drinking, smoking sans wives or mothers' eyes. Sports boomed, cricket, boxing national fixations, and prostitutes many. Estimates suggest 1 in 16 London women prostituted in the 1850s. 1 in 16. Not repression, but a vast, thinly veiled underworld acknowledged but unspoken in decent circles. The effort to sustain dual lives was immense. Proper at breakfast, transformed in shadows, draining, spirit-breaking. Yet amid darkness, something lovely. In system cracks, people crafted human expressions. Secret codes like flower language, a bouquet saying, "I love you," or "I despise you," via blooms. Fans signaled across ballrooms. Tea gatherings became political hubs. They elevated boredom to art, then wielded it. The Victorian era spanned 64 years, 1837 to 1901. At start, women owned no property, voted not, divorced not, even if beaten. By end, feminism seeds sprouted. Women sought education, rights, autonomy. System fracturing. Where began? I'd say in those parlors, endless dull afternoons, quiet fury of women like Ella Lenina, flawless outside, revolutionary inside. What hits me most? How relatable it feels. We're like Ella Lenina in her parlor, still performing, upholding images, stifling selves to fit societal molds. Instagram highlight reels mask true hardships. We claim fine while crumbling. We obey senseless rules, fearing breaks. Victorians show perfection traps. More effort on flawlessness means inner decay. Boredom signals soul's alarm. Something's amiss. You're existing, not living, and existing falls short. Ella Lenina sits with embroidery in flawless hands, corset squeezing ribs. She decides. Not grand, not dramatic, a small defiance to alter all. Soon she'll have tea, but uniquely empowering her to breathe, ponder, feel, bond with similarly trapped women. But I'm jumping ahead. That's next. Believe me, you'll want it. What followed reshaped society unexpectedly. All from one woman bored, opting for a biscuit at 4 p.m. Stick around. Best ahead. Soon, meet a duchess whose simple servant request rewrote history. It'll shift your views on authority, meals, camaraderie. Here's how one woman's hunger pang reshaped history. I adore this tale. It shows major shifts often stem from basic human wants, not lofty declarations or theories, just appetite. Plain, everyday, inescapable appetite. Year 1840. Location: Woburn Abbey, Bedfordshire, England. Picture this vast property, hundreds of chambers, endless trimmed gardens, staff abundant. In one echoing space sits Anna Maria Russell, 7th Duchess of Bedford. At 4 p.m., she's famished. You might wonder, she's a duchess, can't she eat? That's the key. Victorian elite couldn't snack whimsically. That was low class. Eating followed strict timetables meant to discomfort. Let me explain meals, vital for grasping Anna's fix as revolutionary. Early Victorians had two key meals: breakfast near 10 a.m., dinner later. But dinner delayed progressively, and the cause is intriguing. Technology, specifically lighting. Pre-gas lamps, dinner hit 5 or 6 for daylight visibility. Candles costly, dim. But 1820s, 1830s gas lights and improved lamps let elites flaunt chandeliers. Evening dinners at dark showed wealth. We're rich enough to mimic day at night. Dinner slid to 7, 8, even 9 for trendsetters. This left a huge gap after light noon luncheon, 7, 8, or 9 hours. Stomachs growled, energy dipped, hangriness ensued. But ladies didn't admit hunger between meals. Ladies were ethereal beings barely needing food. Anna Maria Russell rejected this. I admire her. In her quarters, stomach rumbling during some refined task, she likely thought, why endure? I'm a duchess with staff and kitchen. Why starve till 8 over silly norms? She acts boldly, summons her maid for tea, bread, butter, maybe cake. Simple sustenance to bridge till dinner. At first, privately in her rooms, hiding from judgment. Even duchesses feared rule-breaking. Even castle dwellers snuck room snacks. Anna Maria was Queen Victoria's lady-in-waiting, attending the Queen's private chambers, inner circle to the world's mightiest woman. She had influence, poise. After weeks of private tea habit she shares, invites friends informally. Join me for tea and light bite around 4? Her friends, also hungry, silently suffering, accept. It's a shared relief, finally admitting need, eating unapologetically. Early sessions tentative, slightly furtive, like mild mischief, which it was. Prioritizing body over society, subversive for Victorian women. But Anna spreads it, to London circles, Queen Victoria. As Duchess and royal attendant, she sways. If Anna Maria Russell deems afternoon tea proper, it is. She grants permission for what others secretly craved. The practice surges. By 1850s, 1860s, upper classes embrace it. No longer mere food, evolves to profound ritual. Consider Anna's unintentional creation. Women's domain, a daily slot they controlled. Breakfast often separate or husbands rushing. Dinner formal, mixed, male-led. Afternoon tea? women's realm. This can't be overstated. In a world denying women public power, no vote, property, life decisions, afternoon tea offered autonomy's sliver, and tasting it, even briefly, hooks. By 1860s, typical afternoon tea details reveal its essence. Timing, 4 sharp. Punctuality respected hostess, guests, structured long afternoons, something anticipated. Hostess welcomes in parlor or morning room, in tea gown. These gowns revolutionary, worn sans corset at home afternoons. Repeat, sans corset. Loose, soft fabrics, breathable, comfortable, food digestible without organ squeeze. Imagine relief. Morning laced in vice, faint prone. At 4, change to easy dress, deep breath. Felt like liberty, small but real. Tea setup elaborate. Imported bone china, polished silver sets, specific utensils. Rules for pouring, cup holding, finger positions. But women set those rules, ruled that space. Significant. Food on 3-tier stand. Bottom sandwiches, cucumber, salmon, egg cress, thin sliced. Middle, scones with cream, jam. Top, cakes, pastries. All bite-sized, elegant, finger-friendly. Tea itself political, unspoken. From British colonies like India, Ceylon. Cups, porcelain, sugar, empire products. Ladies' ritual rested on distant workers' labor. Normal then, unmentioned if noticed. Back to parlors, magic and risk there. Women assembled, few close friends or 10 to 15 larger, and conversed deeply. Not stiff mixed chat, not weather or kin health. Real lives, frustrations, hopes. Gossip? Yes, but as knowledge, power, how excluded women learned world. They covered books, not just approved texts, but scandalous novels, poetry, circulating political tracts. Ideas flowed in parlors, women's schooling, marriage reform, alternative lives. Sans men, women authentic. Dropped perfect femininity mask, admitted fatigue, irritation, rage. Supported, consoled, plotted together. Sometimes I ponder if Anna Maria Russell ignored her hunger or suffered quietly. Would another invent afternoon tea? Likely, need existed, literal and figurative hunger. But lovely tracing one woman, she sparked it, she altered things. Late-night research often leads me here. How many world shifters began fixing small personal issues? Anna sought no societal overhaul, no feminist stance, just hunger relief with her status. But solving hers aided thousands needing it. Change often unfolds thus, not bold statements, but practical defiances resonating from real need. Not aiming for movement, just easing own life. Then others see, adopt, and it snowballs. This tale's charm, about food, basic eating need. In culture transcending body, claiming refined folk, especially women, barely had needs, Anna declared. I'm hungry, that's fine, I'll eat. Revolutionary, body matters, needs matter, no silent suffering. By 1870s, 1880s, afternoon tea institutionalized. Tea shops opened, hotels served. Commercialized, lost some edge as men ran businesses. But space endured. Women's hour for gathering, existing authentically. Ripples real. Historians trace late Victorian women's organizing to tea tables. Suffragettes met over tea. Reformers planned campaigns amid scones. Legitimate excuse for regular meetings, networking. All from Duchess hunger. I revisit that. Anna Maria Russell, privileged in mighty empire, room hiding to eat bread as society forbade hunger. Then brave, or desperate, to defy, creating system crack others traversed. Small rebellion's power. Why I cherish this, reminds we needn't topple everything instantly. Sometimes declare dumb rule, ignoring it. Sometimes others follow. Suddenly not alone, part of larger. Next tea break or snack-off meal, recall Anna Maria Russell. Recall women in drawing rooms, comfy gowns, discussing matters. Started tea and biscuits, and we're living it. But Anna's tea wasn't mere eating, it was information. In Victorian England, info was most perilous, delectable currency. You know? Victorian England's mightiest room wasn't Parliament or Queen's throne. It was modest parlor at 4 p.m., women in tea gowns with delicate cups. Nobody, especially men, realized till too late. Enter such room. Not Anna Maria Russell's grand abbey. Something subtler, reshaping order quietly as men assumed wives merely chatted over treats. It's 1862, Bloomsbury, London townhouse. Comfortable, not lavish. Hostess Margaret, named from Victorian letters in museum archive. Her insights pierce time. 32. Solicitor's wife, 3 kids, modest inheritance, mind her husband called unfortunately active in brother letters. Haunting phrase, like thinking was ailment. Margaret hosts weekly Thursday tea, 6 women, ages 25 to 53, varied backgrounds. Doctor's wife, merchant's daughter, widow on pension, younger whose family runs printing shop. Elsewhere, class gaps might prevent talk, but in this women-carved space, rules differ. Understand, not mere gossip. Building networks, sharing info barred elsewhere. Creating knowledge economy, influence, under innocent feminine guise, no man interrupts. Brilliant, subversive. Makes me ache at cleverness needed for conversation. Margaret pours tea herself, key. Wealthier homes use servants. Here, hostess signals intimacy. Equals here, united. Small act, but hierarchy-obsessed society makes gestures weighty. Talk begins lightly. Weather. Margaret's lavender silk tea gown with lace sleeves complemented. 10 minutes in, shifts to Mrs. Harrison nearby. Before judging gossip, grasp its role for Victorian women. We dismiss it as trivial, female silliness. But that's how power disregards the disempowered's networks. Label gossip to ignore intelligence gathering, because that's it. Victorian women barred from education, business, politics, law. Couldn't read papers publicly sans judgment. No university, professions. How world knowledge, decisions? Through each other. Networks men termed gossip, women survival. Mrs. Harrison troubled, husband gambling. One saw him at gambling den from carriage in shady area. Another notes jewelry sales, small at first, unnoticed. Pawnbroker kin to housemaid, word spreads. In parlor, pieces form, husband's deep debt. Mrs. Harrison unaware, he hides. But these women know. Now plan action. Powerful, no formal authority, no vote, office, bank control often. But info, collective effort. About to rescue Mrs. Harrison unaware. One's brother banker, another's husband lawyer. Quiet plan. Words and ears, fair loan offered. Advice at dinner party. Week later, husband cornered by peers, faces debts pre-family ruin. He'll never know wife's friends orchestrated, nor Mrs. Harrison likely. But it occurs. Happened thousands times. Women using tea for cover to organize, protect, wield power, available ways. And beautiful. Men clueless. Thought wives debated fashion, recipes, unaware social rescues planned over sandwiches. But tea offered rarer. Emotional truth in performance-demanding culture. Margaret's letter to sister, saw in museum, chills. Today at tea, Mrs. Davies cried. Not dainty tears, deep sobs. Corset loosened, tea gowns on, she breathed to weep fully. She can't bear another child, 6 born, 3 alive, 3 gone. Body weary, spirit more. Husband ignores restraint. What but hold, listen. Publicly deny such. At tea, human. Stepped from display. Margaret describes raw truth moment tea enabled. Space to shed corset literally, figuratively. Admit breaking. Held by understanding women breaking too. Tea gown symbolizes. Off corset, compressed, shaped unnaturally. Can't breathe, eat. Then tea. Loose dress, body yours. See others' true forms, natural, not hourglass artifice. Intimate, vulnerable, builds trust. Fashion historians note tea gowns flowing, bohemian, lace, soft hues, embroidery. Beautiful differently from evening gowns, display, male gaze, competition. Tea gowns for comfort, self-pleasure, female audience. Some incorporated Asian elements, kimonos, saris. Height imperialism. Not romanticizing appropriation, but intriguing, women adopted looser styles from cultures less rigid on dress. Reaching for alternatives to crushing Western form. Fascinating. Conservative Victorians viewed tea gowns scandalous. Why? Liminal, between day, evening wear. Transitions unnerved Victorians. Blurred lines threatened order of rigid categories. Etiquette articles warned, no male visitors in tea gowns, too intimate, informal. Revealed not body, but real woman under performance. Man shouldn't see wife comfortable, always perfect, corseted, performing. That's why liberating, women-only secret. Men home evenings, wives recorseted, evening wear, in role. But afternoons, they'd been free, real. I ponder this changing for outings versus home sweatpants. Public makeup, hair put together. Home just being. Still performing femininity publicly, relaxing privately. Victorians literalized it. In Margaret's parlor, talk shifts. Solved Mrs. Harrison. Comforted Mrs. Davies. Now riskier, ideas. Someone brought book, George Eliot's Mary Ann Evans' male pseudonym for seriousness, Middlemarch. Controversial for portraying women complex, thinking, ambitious, not angels/demons. They debate Dorothea's marriage to Casaubon. Discuss female ambition, intellect, marrying young pre-self-knowledge. Really, own lives, choices, regrets. This men feared, women reading, thinking, questioning narratives of possible selves, wants. Books dangerous, alternative life visions. Discussing, validating doubts/desires, more dangerous. Margaret's teas became reading group. Others political sessions quietly backing married women's property, divorce, girls' education. Some artistic salons sharing writing, art, music. Some business nets aiding employment, clients for small ventures. Tea table Trojan horse, seemed harmless, domestic, what society prescribed. Social, pleasant, domestic concerns. But inside, revolution, quiet, slow, unstoppable. By 1880s, 1890s, daughters of tea-attending mothers demanded more. Watched women create autonomous spaces, exchange ideas, support. Saw women's potential with tiny freedom. Wanted beyond tea gowns, parlors, education, jobs, vote, life control. Suffragette movement, women's education push, late Victorian reforms, didn't emerge randomly. From parlors, Thursday gatherings where women learned trust, organize, envision futures. Tea table revolution training. Men missed it, trained to dismiss women's gatherings as trivial. Just tea, gossip, feminine nonsense. Didn't grasp women built parallel power structure unnoticed, one sandwich at a time. That's genius. Makes me applaud across time. Couldn't storm barricades, speak parliament, demand in papers. Did smarter, built world small, domestic, dismissible. Till not small, till city-spanning networks, organized movements men couldn't ignore. Tea table taught women's power, mutual care, no male permission for think, feel, act. Once learned, unlearnable. Tasted freedom, even afternoon hour, sans corset breath, you crave more, believe deserved. Yes, afternoon tea food, fashion, rituals, but power. Quiet, female power via relationships, networks, subtle sway. Changes world slowly, permanently. If familiar, your friend groups, support nets, sharing info, navigating unfriendly world. You grasp, tea table endures. Different names but pattern. Women gather, share, support, organize, carve freedom pockets in unfree worlds. But power, freedom had shadow. Same network saving Mrs. Harrison could ruin another. Gossip protective or weapon. In powerless system, reputation often sole tool and could devastate lives. Which leads to tea table turning vicious, gossip destructive, not protective. Sometimes scrolling social media, see life implode, screenshot, rumor, comment pile on, think we invented cancel culture, public shaming. But Victorians mastered centuries ago. Used calling cards, tea, not Twitter, TikTok. Tell you about Caroline Norton. Her tale shakes me, visceral, brutal, avoidable. All began gossip at tea party. Born 1808, respectable family. Beautiful, clever, talented, wrote selling poetry, novels. 1827, 19, married George Norton. Disaster. George jealous, violent, insecure over wife's success. Beat her, controlled finances, made hell. Divorce 1830s England? Near impossible for women. Laws: men divorce for adultery. Women needed adultery plus incest, cruelty, desertion. One offense insufficient? Women required suffering combo. Caroline built friends, social life beyond miserable marriage. Attended dinners, salons, parties. Tea with women, men too. One man, Lord Melbourne, Prime Minister. Affair? Likely not. Evidence suggests friendship. He valued her mind, she his talk. But 1836, George sued Melbourne for criminal conversation, Victorian adultery term. Not marriage protection, financial. Win meant damages. Extortion as moral fury. No evidence, so George weaponized reputation. Started rumors, friends spread. Women's protective gossip nets? Men had vicious ones too. Teas, parlors buzzed. Heard Caroline Norton affair with Prime Minister? Multiple probably. Fallen, harlot, adulteress. Adulteress like acid. Burned reputation, standing, public face. Caroline won technically. Lawsuit dismissed lacking proof. But didn't win. Law said innocent, society guilty. Gossip worked. Socially destroyed. George kept control. Children, money, her book copyrights. I ponder Caroline Norton much thinking gossip. Gossip not mere talk, social control. Enforces rules sans police courts. Victorian neighborhoods had influencers. Older, wealthy, connected women deciding inclusions, exclusions, invitations, receptions, cuts. Public ignore, turn away, social erase. Powerful, all max lady patronesses, 7 max. Absolute London society power. Voucher for Wednesday balls, somebody. Denied, nobody. Not elected, appointed, just power, social, include, exclude. Built on gossip. How worked? Say, young Jane establishing society. Recently married or new money family breaking up her ranks. Everything reputation dependent. One slip, whisper, done. Be careful. Follow etiquette books, hundreds pages detailing all situations. Which fork, call length, mixed topics, room entry, sit, laugh, not loud, frequent. Constant performance. But gossip needs no truth, just repetition. Enough repeats rumor becomes truth. Social truth only mattering. Someone sees you chatting man at party. Innocent. Tells, Jane, Mr. Smith seemed intimate. Next, heard Jane, Mr. Smith affair. Then, Jane, adulteress. 2 weeks, ruined. Nothing wrong, but gossip uncaring. Or minor. Shallow curtsy to superior. Wrong morning party color. Wrong joke laugh. Unchaperoned shop entry. Any sparks? Machine. Once started, near unstoppable. 1871 Diary, Beatrice. Learned Mrs. Ashford spreads rumors. Says visited gentlemen's club. Never have. Wouldn't know how. But 3 withdrew tea invites. Husband furious. Claims disbelieve. But see his looks. Even he doubts. How prove negative? Nightmare others' invention. Last line haunts. Nightmare others' invention. Gossip creates unrelated reality, destroys effectively as truth. Worst, no defense. Slander suits needed financial damages. hard for non-property/business women. Confront accuser, often unknown, rumor mutated through tellings. Defend publicly, draws attention, protests too much, guilty. Real defense, strong friends network vouching, counter-gossiping. Ridiculous rumor, Jane, know her, never. Enough influential women survive. Maybe. YT networks crucial, not just info share, survival. Attack on one? Rally, defend reputation, spread counter-narratives, use social currency, protect. Dark side, same networks destroy if violate rules. Betray trust, gossip insider, wrong side dispute. Network turns, worse than outsiders. Women know secrets, strike precisely. Ever outside friend group? Wrong or grew apart, excluded. Jokes you miss, plans sans you, untagged photos. Hurts. Victorian women, exclusion not emotional only. Ruin marriage, family prospects. Isolate in world women couldn't solo survive easily. Calling cards example how gossip, control mechanical. Small name-printed cards. Simple? Rules insanely complex. Visit, send card ahead via servant/drop-off. Folded corner meanings. Top left congratulations, bottom right condolences, etc. Books on etiquette. Receive card, choices. Receive, invite tea, talk 15 to 20 minutes, return card 3 days. Or, not at home, refuse, cut. Everyone knew meaning. System tracked relationships visibly. Who called whom, received, rejected? Servants talked. So Lady X cuts Mrs. Y's card. Hours later, gossip. Heard Lady X cut Mrs. Y. Must have done terrible. Gossip spreads. Others follow. Receive cut person by powerful. Risk cut yourself. Social contagion. Exclusion like disease. Also, social proof, stack important calling cards in entrance tray. Visitors see, know connected. Physical followers likes, social value proof. Really gets me, all women controlled. Men had clubs, business nets. But domestic social sphere, women's. One area genuine power, used. Sometimes beautifully, protect vulnerable, organize reforms, build communities. Sometimes cruelly, enforce conformity, punish independence, destroy threats. Often both. That's Victorian gossip complexity, oppressive, liberating. Control tool, resistance tool. Kept women line, gave power powerless. Understand complexity, discomfort important, can't romanticize or dismiss. Victorian novel moment, George Eliot, Middlemarch? Character says gossip only power for powerless. That's tragedy, necessity. Victorians grasped. Reputation fragile, identity social. Exist in relation others. Who power how perceived, treated, community participation. Victorians explicit. Turned reputation management art with rules, rituals, performances. Anxiety created. Constant fear gossip, small error ruin all, crushing. Diaries full. Anxiety pre-events, nights replaying talks, wondering offense, rumors starting. Familiar? Nights pondering sent text, email, posted comment, how received, offended, about called out, canceled, gossiped. Tech changed, anxiety same. But Victorians grasped gossip not destructive only, intimacy. Share secret, trust, inner circle invite. Creates bonds, us versus them, connected, important, informed. Why irresistible, not info, belonging. Closest friendships. Deepened, shared confidences, late nights telling unshared. Gossip, positive, intimacy creates. Victorians knew. Used gossip build sustaining relationships. Tool, destroying, also connecting. Caroline Norton, incidentally, spent next 20 years changing trapping laws. Couldn't regain children, husband's property, but lobbied Parliament for 1839 Custody Infants Act, giving mothers some rights. Later aided Married Women's Property Act, women own property, earn money. Turned nightmare political action. Used notoriety, destructive gossip as platform. Wrote pamphlets, essays, politician letters. Succeeded partially, changed laws, helping thousands. Other side gossip, reputation. Through fire survived, you have freedom. Lost perfect reputation, so nothing lose? Speak truths respectable can't. Advocate radical change, spotless, couldn't. Many effective Victorian reformers had damaged reputations. Nothing protect, became fearless. Said others thought, couldn't say. Challenged systems others whispered at tea. Gossip, reputation, social control, powerless weapons. Ugly, brutal sometimes, but only available. Victorians wielded precisely, good, ill, ways we still understand. But reputation, scandal, control talk leads fundamental. Underneath gossip, cards, social performances, Victorians hid something, making anxious, controlling, appearance-obsessed. Hiding desire, sexual, human, messy reality. More repressed, more leaked strangely. Public Victorian morality pristine. Private reality, far more intriguing. Tell you about William Acton, 1857 book, Functions, Disorders, Reproductive Organs, influential medical text. Wrote, majority women, happily them, not much troubled sexual feelings any kind. Happily them. Respected doctor saying women grateful lacking desire. People believed or pretended. Easier than truth. Truth, Victorian England sex obsessed. Not despite prudish rep, because. Squeeze tight, explode sides. Victorian sexuality erupted hypocritically, fascinatingly, heartbreakingly. Show you. 1865 London, population 2.8 million. Historians estimate prostitutes 8,000 to 80,000. Conservative, 1/16 women prostituted sometime. 1/16. Same society mythically covering piano legs suggestive. Probably myth, but believable. Ankle glimpse scandalous. Married sex through sheet hole. Another myth, believed. Yet 1/16 women selling sex survive. Contradiction staggering, like strictest person wild secretly. But not one, entire civilization double life. Victorians knew, all knew, prostitution visible. Any major street post-dark, prostitutes. Worked brothels, theaters, dance halls, some decent homes, good areas. Everyone aware. But public denial elaborate. Polite company, pretend prostitution, sex non-existent. Pretend human desire mess simply absent. Think scrolling social media seeing curated perfect lives. No fake, No struggles, secrets, mess unposted. Maintain fiction. Like perfect photos, congratulate highlights. Participate delusion. Easier than truth. Victorians same. Sans Instagram. Introduce embodying contradiction. William Gladstone. Four-time UK Prime Minister. Deeply religious, family man, virtue crusader. Several nights weekly, walked London streets talking prostitutes. Claimed rescuing, convincing quit sinful ways. Return respectability. Invited home tea, counseling. Maybe believed pure motives. But diaries show post-encounters self-flagellated, whipped as temptation punishment. Tormented by unacknowledged desire. Created fiction helping fallen while self-punishing attraction. Heartbreaking psychological twists sustain self-deception. Gladstone not unusual, just documented. Victorian England full men publicly purity championing, privately prostitutes, mistresses, deviancy. Hypocrisy system, how functioned. Why prostitution widespread? Not just male desire, economics, women's options lack. Working class Victorian woman, limited jobs, domestic servant, long hours, poor pay, often employer abuse. Factory, dangerous, poverty wages, early death, accident/disease. Seamstress, starvation sewing till blind. Or prostitute, earn enough, eat, rent, save perhaps. Not romanticizing, dangerous, degrading, often fatal. Disease rampant, violence common. Arrest possible under Contagious Diseases Acts, soon. But often least bad in no good options world. Dark. Victorian morality blamed women, never men. Prostitutes fallen, corrupted, sinful, diseased. Men using services? Just men. Boys, satisfying urges pure passionless wives couldn't grasp/fulfill. Sexual double standard defined Victorian life. Blatant, embedded everywhere, noticing unstoppable. Marriage law example. Pre-1857 Matrimonial Causes Act, divorce near impossible. Needed Parliament Act. Only rich afforded. 1857 changed, sort. Man divorce wife, simple adultery. One act, end marriage. Woman, prove adultery plus incest, cruelty, desertion. Husband's adultery alone insufficient, needed plus horror. Logic, loosely. Male adultery, no family threat. Bastards no inherit, name. Female adultery threatened, possible bastard legitimate line. All property, ensuring blood heirs. Women's suffering irrelevant versus property sanctity. Sex within marriage controlled double standard. Women submit husband desires anytime. Law. Husband can't rape wife. Marriage permanent consent. But women not enjoy, want, just endure, think England sang. Psychologically damaging, lifetime told sexual feelings shameful, good women no desire. Then married stranger, submit sexually while feign nothing. Designed trauma. Split women, public angel, private victim, participant. Found 1873 letter woman sister post-wedding night. Asked truthfully marriage bed. Can't. No words expected, done. Submitted as wife must. But Elizabeth, felt told shouldn't, pleasure, shame mixed, desire taught wicked, fallen even marriage, confusion worse physical pain. Last line destroys, confusion worse pain. Double standard made doubt feelings, bodies, sanity. But William Acton, moralist, didn't anticipate, can't erase sexuality, declaring non-existent. Goes underground, finds outlets. Victorians found creative, disturbing ones. Victorian pornography exploded. Pre-1857 Obscene Publications Act, relatively unregulated. Post-Act, illegal, went underground, more profitable. Prohibition effect, ban, increases want. Pornography often violent, rape, incest, whipping, torture. Women pure angels violently corrupted, or insatiable demons corrupting men. Rarely mutual pleasure equals, just extremes, revealing twisted Victorian sexuality under repression. Readers? Respectable, educated men publicly championing purity, women's angelic nature. Underground publication subscriber lists. Clergymen, doctors, politicians, professors. Cognitive dissonance stunning. Then, Contagious Diseases Acts, 1860s. Military towns. Police arrest suspected prostitute women. Force venereal exam. Infected. Hospital locked months. Targeted women only, not soldiers spreading, men visiting, just women. Suspected. Vague. Any working-class woman alone night arrested. Dressed, behaved certain way. Terrifying. But Josephine Butler campaigned repeal. Upper-class, respectable clergyman wife. Furious double standard. Quote, men only first, last do with. Please man did wrong first. Flung man. Men police hands us. By men examined, handled, doctored, never out men's hands. Organized cross-class women. Meetings, pamphlets, Parliament lobby, 1. Repealed 1886. Early major organized feminism victory England. Started, women tired hypocrisy. Blamed male desire while told no desire's own. Double standard affected all, even unexpected. Clothing, women's fashion insane. Corsets deforming, crinolines doorway blocking. Bustles uncomfortable sitting. Heavy layers weighing down. All necessary, respectable, feminine, attract husband. But clothes made women helpless. Can't run, crinoline, barely walk, defend, work. Decorative, immobile, point. Enforced delicate, passive, male protection need. Men's clothing, practical. Trousers, jackets, simple, movable. Pockets everywhere. Women's, almost none. Women not supposed to need, carry money or keys, suggesting autonomy. Fashion, never just fashion. Politics on body. Under elaborate clothes, body obsession channeled medicine, pseudoscience. Hundreds diseases diagnosing female sexuality or independence. Hysteria, any woman emotion. Nymphomania, too much want. Chlorosis, pale or weak young women, likely anemia, corsets, diets. Neurasthenia, nervous exhaustion, too many thoughts. Cures, rest cures, locking women rooms, forbid read or write or mental stimulation. Hysterectomies, removing uterus, cure improper wants. Charlotte Perkins Gilman wrote Yellow Wallpaper her rest cure. Disturbing. Narrator-driven mad, help, cure. Trapped room, no write or think, slowly insane. Horror story, based real, considered medicine. Think we still do subtler, angry women hysterical. Wanting sex, sluts, not frigid. Still narrow acceptable female sexuality, outside, pathologized, or punished. Victorians explicit. But hope, Victorian women resisted, quietly, secretly. Passed banned books, whispered birth control info. Helped abusive marriage survival. Built support resistance networks. Some loud, Josephine Butler repeal. Fought education, property, divorce. Called unfeminine, unnatural, dangerous. Ostracized, threatened, attacked. Persisted, unbearable double standard, done bearing. Victorian era ended 1901, Queen Victoria death. But attitudes, double standards, female purity obsession, male prerogative, lasted longer, still in ways. Still untangling Victorian gender or sexuality ideas, fighting same battles, different weapons. That's era fascination, not ancient. Foundation building or demolishing. Victorians fought desire or reputation battles, closed doors. But meet, court, love in suffocating rule system created rituals, secret languages, tiny romance rebellions where heart beat despite corset crush. Can't stop love. Can make ridiculously complicated. Imagine confessing love, never alone. Flirt, chaperone watching. Learn if reciprocated, can't ask direct, scandalous. Victorian courtship, love needing military strategy, spy novel creativity. Always fascinated how humans communicate forbidden. Build secret languages, repression cracks. Victorians' masters, coded systems express unspeakable feelings. Beautiful. Heartbreaking. Take You Ball, 1878. English countryside grand estate. Ballroom candlelit hundreds. Women elaborate gowns, men evening wear, orchestra waltzes. Fairy tale look. But young navigating courtship, minefield. Young woman Julia, 21, out society 3 years. Dozens balls, dances, exhausted performance. But tonight, different. Spots man across room, chest flutter, spark. That sudden awareness. His name, Thomas, solicitor. Respectable family, good prospects. Notices Julia too. Problem, no formal introduction. Victorian, can't approach sans mutual acquaintance. Without, invisible each other. Thomas finds friend knowing both. Pulls aside, explains. Cross ballroom carefully, no eagerness, improper. Introduction. Miss Julia, present Mr. Thomas. Thomas, Miss Julia. Can speak, here, event only. Street later, strangers unless Julia acknowledges first. Women had that power, public acknowledge first. Rare women control over men. Thomas asks dance. Julia checks dance card, booklet promise dances. Can't same man more twice event. 3. Rumors. 4. Practically engaged. Rule specific. Julia agrees 1. Waltz floor. Waltz scandalous initially, hand on waist, facing, holding. Closest unmarried physical contact. Imagine intimate touch, hand waist over layers, crowded ballroom, chaperones watching. Yet Julia, Thomas, electric. Restriction intensifies. Desire needs little ignite. Sometimes waist hand, 3 minutes, sent close. No personal talk, feelings, hopes, attraction. Music, weather, acquaintances. But underneath, different conversation. Hand tighter necessary, she doesn't pull. Eyes meet, hold longer propriety. Dance ends. Escorts chaperone, mother, aunt probably. Bows, curtsies. Walks away, but asks call home. She says yes, casual despite pounding heart. Now complicated. Courtship. Thomas sends calling card next day. Mother receives, decides visit. Approves, word Julia at home specific time. Disapproves, returns card polite note not receiving. Assume approves. Thomas arrives exact time, 5 minutes off, rude. Drawing room. Julia waiting, not alone. Mother, sister, aunt always. Visit. Someone watches, listens, ensures proper. Conversation. Interesting enough gauge-like, innocuous, not scandalized chaperone. Hard. Know someone performing normality audience? Victorians creative. Coded acceptable topics communicate hidden meanings. Books. Julia mentions novel. Thomas read? Discuss themes, characters, plot, really own feelings. Julia admires heroine independence, reveals self. Thomas hero devotion moving, approaches love. Music similar. Julia plays piano visit, piece choice meaning. Mozart sonata, classical taste, education, refinement. Popular ballad, romantic sensibility. Song lyrics, coded messages. Elaborate code, flower language. Dictionaries published, floriography. Studied like textbooks, wrong, disastrous. Red roses, passionate love, still no. Single red, I love you. Dozen, be mine. Yellow, friendship, jealousy, shade dependent. White, purity, innocence. Pink, admiration. Beyond, daisies, innocence. Forget-me-nots, true love, remembrance. Ivy, fidelity. Violets, modesty. Lilacs, first love, emotions. Warnings, yellow, carnations, rejection. Orange lilies, hatred. Petunias, anger, resentment. Construct sentences, flowers. Thomas bouquet. Pink rose, admire. Forget-me-not, remember. Ivy, fidelity, promise. Julia respond. Red tulip, reciprocate. Yellow tulip, cautious. White wisteria, independence value. Found Victorian letters. Edward sent Catherine flowers 3 months. Weekly, passionate meanings escalating. Catherine displayed parlor. Edward visit. Silent conversation flowers while chaperone oblivious. Clever. Presentation mattered. Upside down, opposite meaning. Right hand, positive about recipient. Left, you. Ribbon color, layer. Wasn't flowers only. Fan language. Hold, move, open, close, conveyed. Slow fanning, engaged. Quick, independent. Draw across cheek, I love you. Touch lips. Kiss me, though kissing forbidden. Imagine women practicing fan moves rooms. Perfect casual gesture meaning meet alone if can. Like dance choreography, dance desire, audience controllers. Gloves codes. Smooth glove, wish speak. Drop, I love you. Or clumsy, confusion possible. Hit against hand, love another. Imagine Julia Thomas navigating codes while knowing each other. Exhausting. But restriction created intimacy. Can't say, like you, direct. Attend every gesture, flower, glance. Hyper-aware other. Attention level we've lost. Now, instant text, say exactly. Dozen messages time Thomas compose card. Better? Easier, efficient. But Victorian slowness, carefulness, wait small interactions. Every moment mattered, rare. System problems huge. Designed prevent own choices. Parents controlled introductions, visits, suitor approvals, rejections. Love developed specific parameters, specific people types. Court own class only. Working class man, upper class woman. Unthinkable. Reputations ruined. Social interactions class segregated. Didn't meet other classes, let alone love. System biased men. Man court multiple women sans judgment. Woman encouraging multiple. Flirt, tease, worse. Man chose ultimately. Woman accept, reject only. Couldn't pursue, express desires openly. Hope liked man chooses her. If desires unfit system. Woman loving women, man men. No language flowers, fans. Love illegal, pathologized, impossible socially. Some found secret communities, obscurer codes. Risk enormous, prison, scandal, ruin. For fitting system, magical somewhat. Edward Catherine Flower talks. 3 months anticipation, coded, hopes build slow. Engaged year courtship, supervised visits, exchanges, gestures, meaning everything. Compare modern dating, say anything, instant. Relationships, text. No few dates, hours continue. Better? Faster, honest maybe. Lost speed, weight, attention, poetry, restriction. Despite rules, chaperones, restrictions, people fell love. Deeply, genuinely, passionately. Human heart stubborn. Controls, codifies, channels, does once. Loves who loves. Victorian novels full couldn't together lovers. Separated class, money, family. Resonated, real. Behind novels, thousands real experiencing heartbreak. But triumphs too. Couples navigated, learned heart's flower dictionaries, fan languages, chaperoned talks. Built relationships, tiny gestures, huge patience. Reached marriage, found happiness, or partnership, companionship, life. Engagement supposed year least, etiquette books. Time know each other. Cynics noted year deception likely as month. Everyone performing propriety, real person post-marriage. Wedding night shocking many. No kiss before, no sex discuss, barely touch. Whole tragedy layer. But sit beauty created, longing language. Poetry glances, secret codes saying, see you, want you, choose you. World wouldn't allow out loud. Victorian courtship teaches, Desire finds way. Love finds language. Control, suppress, channel, code. It persists, adapts, creates forms. Victorians couldn't say "I love you" direct, so flowers. We can whenever, but lost art saying everything else. Attention, patience, gestures mean because made mean. But codes, flowers, careful courtships surface. Courtship succeeded? Married, faced Victorian marriage reality. Codes broke. Desire, duty collided, tore apart. Marriage supposed happy ending. Many Victorians. Real struggle began. Escape sought, places breathe free, even afternoon, where story turns next. Question keeps me awake. Bored desperately, you'll anything, even horrify, just feel. Victorians reached there, built rigid control society. People sought entertainment, darkest, strangest, disturbing spots. Literally, paid watch surgeries, picnicked graves, turned suffering afternoon fun. Not strange then, just Tuesday boredom fix. Take Paris, 1860s, building right bank near Notre Dame. Plain outside, daily hundreds line enter. Not concert play, see dead bodies. Paris morgue top Europe tourist spot. More visitors some museums. Displayed unidentified corpses behind glass. Official, identify. Became entertainment. Families brought kids. Couples dated there. Guidebooks listed beside Louvre, Eiffel Tower. Bodies marble slabs, sometimes clothed death, sometimes naked. Staff sprayed cold water, slow decay, keep fresh. Famous cases drew crowds. Young woman from Seine, peaceful face. Death mask popular, copies homes hung. L'inconnu de la Seine. Romantic symbol. Poets wrote, artists painted, all from staring dead face. Think social media tragedy draw, crash videos, true crime, live disasters. Say different, understand, learn, process. Maybe same Victorian families morgue. Maybe all seek real in unreal lives. Victorians understood true crime obsession, invented pre-Netflix. Public executions drew tens thousands. Festivals, food vendors, chairs, picnics, day event. Last public England, 1868. Michael Barrett hanged Newgate Prison. Reports, over 100,000 attended. Filled windows, rooftops, streets. Drop, death. Crowd cheered like show. Magic trick, not human end. Charles Dickens, 1849 execution horrified crowd, wrote essay, described joking, laughing, flirting, like party. Believe sight inconceivably awful wickedness, levity immense crowd, imagined no man, presented no heathen land son. But Dickens grasped, crowd not evil uniquely, bored, desperately, soul-crushingly. Execution year highlight. Working class, afford no theater/travel, 6-day weeks, Sunday off. Execution-free spectacle, communal, talk months. Post-1868 executions inside prisons, public turned other dark entertainment. Couldn't watch real deaths, staged ones. Sought danger, horror forms. Freak shows popular. Exhibitions physical differences/disabilities. Dwarfism, gigantism, skin conditions, conjoined twins. Staged, audiences stared. Famous, Joseph Merrick, Elephant Man. severe deformities, couldn't work jobs. Exhibited freak shows survive. People paid stare, feel shocked, grateful not him, break ordinary lives' monotony, witnessing extraordinary suffering. Read Merrick Young, stuck. Intelligent, articulate, sensitive. Loved read, discuss literature, theater, but most past appearance. Saw curiosity, not human. Devastating, exhibiting best option, paid better alternatives. Poverty death else. Let stare. Performed suffering, deal Victorian society offered different. But normal Victorians turned spectacles bored. Seances 1850s through 1860s craze. Not gullible. Scientists, intellectuals, aristocracy. Dark rooms, contact dead. Tables lift, noises, spirits possess medium, messages beyond. Mostly fraud, tricks, effects, cold reading. But people wanted believe. Why? Lost loved ones comfort partly, but exciting too. Predictable world, supernatural thrilling. Forces beyond control, reason, rigid order, intoxicating. Society Psychical Research, 1882, Cambridge scholars. Investigated ghosts, telepathy, mediumship. Papers, experiments, serious. Rational scientific world, empty, soulless. Conquered nature, built empire, catalogued all. Bored minds, sought mystery, wonder, unexplainable. But Victorian entertainment weird. Cemetery picnics. Mid-1800s fashionable. Families pack lunches, blankets near graves. Afternoon eating, chatting, games among dead. Famous, Highgate Cemetery, London. Designed beautiful, Gothic architecture, paths, views. Marketed living too. Sunday strolls, courting, proposals, portraits on tombstones. Something creepy, profound, morbid. Cemetery, public park, graves furniture. But perhaps healthier death relation. Didn't hide. Death, life part. Tea grandma's grave. Mortality reminder, sunny afternoon. Death less scary, familiar. Or bored death mundane. Backdrop social performance. Victorians loved sensation fiction. Novels shock, scandalize, thrill. Ordinary life couldn't. Wilkie Collins's Woman, White, 1859 bestseller. Identity theft, asylums, forgery, murder attempt. Serial, Lines new installments. Discussed parties, speculated. Like Netflix binge, month spread, paper. Content revealing, madness, secrets, crimes, sexual transgressions. Polite Victorians not think, but obsessed. Fiction safe horror, scandal. Read adultery, murder, insanity. Shocked, thrilled. Close book, return proper boring life. Some further. Visited asylums, watch patients. Mention story start, full, disturbing picture. Early Victorian, pre-1840s to 1850s reforms. Asylum visits, normal entertainment. Pay fee, observe mad. Some special days. Encouraged patients perform, dance, sing, display symptoms. Viewing lunatics. Considered educational, scientific, understand mental illness. Wasn't. Degrading. Turned suffering show. Laugh, mock, treat like zoo animals. Patients no choice. Institutionalized, powerless. Forced spectacles, bored Victorians' afternoon fun. Context. Alice, Wonderland, Mad Tea Party. Lewis Carroll satirizing. Mad Hatter, March Hare, Dormouse perform madness. Alice like visitors, observes, not understands. Tourist chaos world. Think now viral videos, reality TV, film strangers sans consent, connections. Still watch breakdowns. Consume suffering entertainment. Call content. Pretend different, voluntary, everyone does. But maybe same Victorians. Still bored, desperate real, even others' pain. Victorians loved disasters, catastrophes. 1858 Great Stink London. Thames polluted, unbearable smell. Parliament, soaked curtains, chloride lime. Function. Complained, yes. Fascinated too. Newspapers record sales. Artists sketched smell fog. Letters, dramatic, horror descriptions. At least happening, broke monotony. Crystal Palace burned. 1936. Post-Victorian, attitude pure. 100,000 watched. Streets, rooftops, massive glass iron flames. Beautiful, terribly. Couldn't look away. We do. Slow crashes. Watch buildings collapse. Real-time screens. Drawn destruction, catastrophe. Reminds world not controlled, orderly, pretend. Victorians honest. Watched exciting, boredom death kind. Witnessed death, disaster, suffering, feels alive contrast. Darkness all, Victorian spectacle. Appetite, sensation, suffering, entertainment, not, nowhere. From repression, controlled, predictable, emotionally constrained lives. Seek feeling anywhere, even horror, death. Can't express emotions honestly, live authentically. Always propriety, perfection. Hungry, raw, real, even others' nightmare. Most fascinating, not all boredom escape dark. Some beautiful. Invented entertainment, joy, connection, community. Built culture, not consume suffering. Music halls, 1870s, 1880s, everywhere British cities. Variety shows, singing, dancing, comedy, acrobatics. Performers, regular people, celebrities, talent, personality. Audiences active, sang, heckled, participated. Loud, rowdy, democratic. People making entertainment, not watch suffer. Sports organized, cricket, football, rugby. Informal to leagues, rules, teams, competitions. Thousands watch, not suffering, skill, communal excitement, belong. Bigger. Bicycle, invented, refined Victorian. Cycling, massive craze. Women, men ride often together, scandalously modern. Mobility, freedom, exercise. Healthy, productive. Boredom escape, fun, simple, innocent. Victorian culture rarely allowed. Victorian boredom response. Not all dark, complicated. Beautiful, horrifying, both often. Humans way. Intensity all. Victorians no halfway. Proper, excruciatingly. Escape, extreme. Morgues, executions, freak shows, seances, cemetery picnics. Oscillated rigid control, total abandon. Perfect manners, morbid fascination. Angels, demons, little between. What happens, repress much. Pressure builds, releases, extreme. Would milder allowed normal expression. But extremes, public. Morgues, music halls, cemeteries. Other spaces quieter. Gardens, parks, promenades, observe, observed, line propriety, possibility. Those between spaces desire creative outlet. Every rigid society has blurry rule places. Neither full public, private, seen, not watched. Desire breathes, sands crush. Victorians, gardens, parks, tree-lined promenades, walk slow, deliberate, perform leisure, secretly seek more. Think these spaces lot, we have. Coffee shops linger, hoping notice. Bars, dim light, eye contact means. Bookstores, browsing, dance. Liminal spaces, connection possible. Possibility, air like perfume. Victorians understood. Built landscapes permissible transgression. New reed codes, gardens, stages subtle, sophisticated flirtation. Take Vauxhall Gardens, London, 1850s. Warm summer evening, 8 o'clock. Sun setting, gold rose. Gas lamps lit paths, pools, light gathering dark. Everywhere people walk slow, purposeful, watching, watched. Vauxhall Pleasure Garden, name implied, unadmitted. Commercial, pay, enter. Inside, tree paths, concert pavilions, refreshment alcoves, grottos, whatever. Official, innocent fun. Actual, interesting. How? Respectable lady, not alone, scandalous. With friends, family, chaperone. But gardens large, paths wind, trees. Lighting atmospheric, see, create intimacy. Easy separate group. Find walking alone, or shouldn't, with on just private path. Magic, rules bent little, not broken, dangerous, but bent, flexible, negotiable. Man, woman formally introduced, acknowledge garden, sans chaperone. Walk bit, brief talk, stay main paths seen, technically proper. Technically, everyone knew not quite. Dancing, propriety edge, edge, thrilling. 1856 diary. Harriet. Became separated party near dark, walk. Gentlemen met twice, tea appeared, chance. Offered escort back. Walk took longer, geography suggest. Spoke music, travel, literature. Hand brushed mine 3 times, each lightning. Rejoined friends, nothing improper occurred, yet everything. No shares feelings. Communicated more, 15-minute walk than hours chaperoned calls. Dark walk. Every pleasure garden had. Dense trees block light. Most scandalous part, respectability hide. Enter with someone, everyone knew. Seeking privacy, intimacy, moments, watchful eyes. Existence acknowledged, not discussed. Design part. Designers knew creating. Built permitted transgression, spaces, landscape. Society sang, give space, breathe, desire, human. But only here, controlled, never speak directly. Walk, way, gardens, everything. Etiquette, promenading. Women slow, graceful, no quick head turns. Men faster, not hurried, aggressive. Signal availability, romantic, sexual. Adjust pace, posture, looks. Eye contact crucial. Normal Victorian, prolonged strangers inappropriate. Gardens, parks, different. Look, hold gaze longer, propriety. Communicate conversations eyes. Interest, invitation, mutual desire. Women dress hems signal. Dresses dragged ground, pick dirt, mud. Acceptable lift hem slightly walking. Etiquette, right hand only, right side, few inches. Both hands, scandalous, dual ankles, too practical not modest. marked lower class or seeking attention. But gardens liminal, women bent. Lift higher necessary, use left hand, different silhouette. Tiny variations signals knowers. Men signals, hat angle, walking stick hand, stride pace, cigar, cigarette, neither. All meant to attuners. Gardens, everyone attuned. Point. Ever felt electric, someone watching? Hyperconscious, every gesture, glance. Victorian gardens felt that. Always performing, aware, observed. But unlike drawing room judgment, gardens observation possibility. Tea gardens more respectable than Vauxhall. Outdoor spots, tables, refreshments, music, socialize. Cremorne, Ranelagh, famous. Attracted families, middle class, some upper, wanting democratic. Even tea gardens, shadows, darker corners, paths away music, lights, quieter conversations, sans interruption. Love these gardens. Beautiful negotiation, desire, propriety. Victorians knew couldn't suppress human nature fully. Needed spaces meet, flirt, connect. Created controlled environments, transgression possible, managed. Just enough freedom, no rebellion. Not much order, collapses. Public parks, similar. Hyde Park, London, famous promenading. Afternoons, especially Sundays, fashionable. Walk Rotten Row, from Route de Roi, King's Road. Slow, finest clothes, seeing seen. Not outfits only, advertising selves, status, marriageability, connections. Victorian dating app, sans swipe, eye contact, slight head incline, acknowledge. Sophisticated new paths, times encounter certain. High society, Rotten Row, 3 to 5 p.m. Adventurous, secluded serpentine lake paths. Observe, sans observed, certain benches, times. Geography, intention, whole. Imagine there, sometimes tea gown, walking slow Hyde Park. Good reading signals? No glances return, paths take? Or lost complexity? Not following rules, knowing when, how break. Art form. Women navigated impossible balance. Walk parks, yes, fresh air, exercise, social. But alone, only lower class. Middle upper needed companions. Too fast, unladylike. Too slow, loitering, suggested prostitution. Look around much, advertising improperly. Straight ahead, cold, unapproachable. Every choice, social meaning. Prostitutes used public spaces, had to. Street prostitution common, parks, gardens, promenades, clients found. Created anxiety, respectable women. Mistaken prostitute dressed, walking certain time? Presence supposed innocent exercise, misread sexual availability? Why strict rules women's public behavior? Not control sake, partly. Maintaining clear boundaries, good, fallen women. Blurred boundaries, social system unstable. Boundaries blurred constantly, humans complex, not categorized neatly. Respectable married affair, meet lover public garden. Prostitute dress, act lady, attract wealthier. Working class walking job harassed, assumed soliciting. Visual codes, behavioral rules, supposed clarity, often confusion, injustice. Painting, William Powell Frith, Railway Station, 1862, shows Paddington different classes mixed, New Victorian. Right, Detectives arrest well-dressed man. Implied criminal looks gentleman. Visual codes broken. Can't tell people looking. Same gardens, parks. Old certainties eroding. Urban life, commercial gardens, class mixing, created spaces, identity fluid, performance reality, be whoever afternoon. Some liberating. Escape assigned identity box. Experiment, reinvent, meet outside circle. Gardens, parks democratize desire little. Rich, poor, respectable, disreputable, same paths, air, spaces, possibility. Others terrifying. Can't tell people, maintain order, protect daughters, dangerous men, preserve class if mixed. Anxiety-produced etiquette literature, shoring rules, reinforce boundaries, keep categorized. But gardens didn't care. Paths wound, trees, shadows, secrets. Flowers bloomed whoever smelled, benches held whoever sat. Nature democratic, anarchic, ungovernable. Why Victorians drawn? Gardens, even surveillance, performing propriety, still nature, connected, wild, uncontrollable. Grass grew respectable or not. Birds sang, prostitutes, duchesses alike. Trees shaded sans credentials. Myths, social construction, performance, rigid rules. Gardens offered real glimpse, uncorseted, uncategorized, uncontrolled. Those reality moments, propriety, desire spaces, people found each other, really found. Not performed, real yearning human selves underneath. Gardens temporary. Walks ended. Returned proper roles, places, lives. But had moments, glimpses, 15 minutes darkening path, hands brushed, eyes met, true past. Maybe moments enough sustained suffocating sameness followed, or made sameness harder bear. Tasted freedom, even sip, garden design control, missing, no possible. Knowledge dangerous, makes want more, risk more, get it. Gardens, parks, not escape spaces, schools desire. Victorians learned want, yearn, imagine different lives society assigned. Those yearnings came actions, small rebellions, scandals, affairs, class-defying marriages, eventually change movements. Can't keep people boxes seen garden, no paths lead elsewhere started. But walking, watching, subtle signaling public, constrained daylight, others' presence, eventually home. Night fell, respectable gardens closed, less opened. Desire stopped subtle, became explicit. Victorian nightlife, alive ways, shock even thought new transgressive society. Every society needs villains, cautionary tales, not be examples. Victorian England perfect, fallen woman. Category broad, vague, almost any woman end if wrong move, or decided had. Fascinating, horrifying. Fallen woman not rare, everywhere. Novels, newspapers, sermons, tea whispers. Victorian morality boogeyman, bed monster. People couldn't stop talking, reading, imagining, claimed disgusted. Secret, fallen woman entertainment, scandal entertainment. Society starving genuine emotion, drama, monotony break. Watching woman grace fall compelling show. Tell scandal gripped England, 1886. Lady Colin Campbell case. Real name Gertrude, went Lady Colin, post-marrying Lord Colin Campbell, Duke's younger son. Seemed good match. Beautiful, intelligent, connected. He, aristocratic, wealthy, respectable. Marriage disaster start. Lord Colin's syphilis pre-marriage, untold. She ill, he blamed her, claimed she brought disease. Accusations flew. He, multiple men affairs. She, violence, cruelty, infidelity. Escalated both divorce suits, citing others' adultery. Trial, 18 days. Testimony, intimate marriage details, alleged affairs, sex lives. Newspapers printed every sordid. Public devoured. Court packed. Bribes seats. Circulation spiked. Trial century. Won many. Victorians had lots. Gets me, neither one. Jury found both likely adultery, not proven beyond doubt. Dismissed petitions. Legally, draw. Socially, Lady Colin ruined, pariah, uninvitable, gossiped decades. Lord Colin, embarrassment some, awkward, but received society, connections intact, life continued. Double standard pure, scandal equal both, ruined woman, barely man. Everyone knew outcome, everyone rules. Trial, not truth, justice. Public reputation, execution. Lady Colin, entertainment bored nation. At least Lady Colin accused actual wrongdoing, debatable, specific. Many fell less, nothing but wrong place, time, person. Fallen category, prostitutes, yes, but premarital sex women, affairs, raped, their fault too. Seen alone, non-husband relative man, dressed provocatively, too friendly, flirtatious, independent. Bad luck, accused, powerful. Labeled fallen, no return, redemption, chances. Permanently marked, exiled, respectable society. Cruel, society needed fallen women. Exist as warnings, examples, entertainment, proof system worked, morality mattered, consequences, stepping line. Victorian literature obsessed. Thomas Hardy's Tess d'Urberville's 1891. Young woman raped, treated, sinned. Subtitle, Pure woman faithfully presented. Hardy saying victim, not fallen. Society disagreed. Reviewers outraged, calling Tess pure post-event. Sex outside marriage, consent irrelevant, irredeemable, fallen. Elizabeth Gaskell's Ruth, 1853, similar. Young seamstress seduced, abandoned wealthy man. Child. Novel sympathetic, victim. But Gaskell, no happy end. Ruth dies. Even sympathetic, fallen, punished. Society, readers demanded. Readers devoured. Cried Tess, Ruth. Sympathized, fictional. Real fallen, sympathy gone. Shunned, mocked, blamed. Hypocritical. Victorians consumed fallen stories, felt virtuous comparison, loved drama, tragedy, moral lessons. Didn't help real women. Wanted entertainment value. Still, yes, true crime docs murdered women. Reality TV relationships collapse. Celebrity scandals obsessive. Say interested, psychology, sociology, cautions. But maybe same Victorian readers. Hungry drama not own. Tragedy, safe distance. Tell place border respectable, fallen. Magdalene Asylum. After Mary Magdalene, believed reformed prostitute. Institutions supposedly rehabilitate fallen, return respectability. Theory charitable. Practice prisons. Women entered voluntary, no options, or forced, family ashamed. Inside, stripped clothes, given uniforms, hair cut short, new names, identity erased. Routine brutal, hours, prayer, hard labor, laundry usually, penitential. Constant watch, no privacy, freedom. Rhetoric salvation. Reformed, purified, suffering, submission. But most never left, died, nowhere go. Stigma asylum almost bad as sent reason, not rehab. Warehouses forget women. Respectable Victorians supported, donated, boards, felt virtuous helping, actually imprisoning, brutalizing. Charity good givers, destroyed recipients. Think women asylums, scrubbing till hands bleed, praying forgiveness sins often not, told suffering soul good, identities erased. Knowing society put them fascinated similar stories. Their suffering entertainment claimed rescuers. Hypocrisy breathtaking. Women escaped fallen label despite should have acts, class, money key. Wealthy, titled, discreet affairs, leave husband, clever, out wedlock children sent away, pretend non-existent, maintain propriety fiction. Aristocracy different rules, appearances thin. Everyone know Lady X affair Lord Y, but discreet, no public scandal, society ignored. Favorite hypocrisy, Laura Bell. 1850s prostitute, expensive, exclusive London. Clients wealthiest, powerful men. Fortune made, 1852 married wealthy knowing past. Became Mrs. Thistlethwaite, received society, parties, respectable. How when others ruined less? Money, marriage, secrets powerful men. Reasons protect reputation, theirs too. Laura Bell shows fallen never morality. Power. Power, money, connections, knowledge destroy others. Rewrite rules. No power. Poor, young, vulnerable. Rules crush. Most famous elopement spot, Gretna Green, Scottish border village. Scotland marriage laws different. No parental consent post 16. England needed till 21. Young couples against family ran Gretna Green. Elopements scandalous. Suggested pre-marriage inappropriate. Defied authority. Often cross-class. Wealthy daughters, poor handsome men. Newspapers loved. Scandal, romance, drama irresistible. But interesting, made Gretna, married, often rehabilitate reputations. Scandal fade. Forgiven, especially husband better prospects thought. Marriage covered sins. But caught pre-Gretna, or went couldn't afford marry. Man abandoned post-promise, she ruined. Acted marriage assumption, likely intimate. Sans marriage, just fallen. Breach promise suits. Man proposes, sleeps based promise, breaks, she sues. Cases newspaper gold. Intimate, he said, she said. Love letters court read. Private desire public. Some awarded substantial damages. Won few legal women weapons. But winning no reputation restore. Money maybe, still marked sexual outside marriage. Fallen, compensated. System punish female sexuality, enable male. Men seduce, abandon, prostitutes, affairs. Discreet, minimal consequences. Women victims, fallen, ruined, socially executed. Public watched executions fascination. Horror, yes, guilty excitement witnessing downfall. There but grace God go I. Could me not. Relief intoxicating. Think better now, enlightened, forgiving. But still shame, blame victims, consume scandal entertainment. Irredeemable categories, different names, justifications. Mechanisms changed. Hunger scandal, spectacle, falling grace. Entertainment others suffering, unchanged. Fallen woman crucial Victorian function. Shadow self, cautionary, proof system worked. Every fall reinforced propriety, importance, rules, staying line. Scared women compliance, gave others talk. Scandal, social control entertainment wrapped. Warning shows same time. Watch break rules. Watch quick lose everything. Watch gather witness destruction, call moral concern. Victorian-era elaborate systems categorize, control, punish female sexuality. Never morality. Power. Who decide acceptable, social capital survive transgression or not? Maintain gender class hierarchies guise religious virtue. Fallen woman. Street prostitute or lady wrong parlor, wrong time. Paid everyone's hypocrisy price. Receptacle, shame, fear, secret desire society couldn't acknowledge. Sacrificed others feel pure, safe, entertained. But fear falling, systems prevent. Women kept falling, transgressing, refusing narrow box. Every fall, scandal, defiance, no matter end, suffering, assertion humanity, desire, refusal, mere perfect passionless angel house. Fallen women most talked, silenced, visible, erased. Society couldn't stop watching, even destroyed. Contradiction essential Victorian culture. Obsession rejected, fascination feared. Need scandal virtue define against. But group women refused fallen narrative, saw hypocrisy, named, fought. Eventually suffragettes, reformers, activists, challenged not individual injustices, whole system. Raised drawing rooms, served bone china, learned propriety rules. Decided rules lies, set burning, imprisoning house. Their story tale most radical turn. Money can't buy happiness, but staggering weird stuff fill void should. Victorian upper classes took, ran bizarre, elaborate, expensive boredom management. Wealthy Victorian England, all-time world, nothing must do. No job, responsibilities beyond social position, endless hours filled daily. Filling hours, art, competition, obsession drove wild extremes. Lady Charlotte Guest. Born 1812, ironmaster married, widowed young, remarried son's tutor. Life scandal. But fascinating, boredom use. Learned Welsh. Mastered. Translated Mabinogion. Medieval Welsh tales. English first. Major scholarly volumes. 1838 through 1849. Not enough. Collected fans, over 500 worldwide. Documented history, craftsmanship, significance. Post-death British Museum collection. One important holdings. Also ran husband's ironworks years. Successful Briton industrialist. Raised 10 children, maintained estates, wrote thousands-page diary. Love Lady Charlotte, weaponized upper-class Victorian boredom. Turned empty time productivity, scholarship, achievement. Exceptional. Most wealthy didn't channel translation. Channeled consumption, display, elaborate ways prove more money, time than sense. Orchid hunting. Absurd craze 1830s, exploding 1850s through 1860s. Wealthy obsessed rare exotic orchids tropics. Paid explorers remote, dangerous South America, Southeast Asia, Pacific, collect, ship England. Not cheap. Rare orchid thousands dollars today equivalent. Plus heated greenhouse survive. Tropical plants England. Tech, coal heat, gardeners, fortune. Estates competed, impressive collections. Hosted orchid parties, greenhouse walks admiring like art. Bonkers. Many hunters died. Diseases, jungle accidents, animals, hostile locals attacks. High mortality. But wealthy kept sending. Rare orchid ultimate status. Said, so wealthy pay risk lives bring flower look weeks till dies. Human cost. Hobbies rarely polite tea talk. Orchids beginning. Collected everything. Ferns. Pteridomania 1850s. Rare ferns obsession. Seashells cataloged scientific. Butterflies, moths pinned, labeled, glass cases. Beetles. Charles Darwin father wanted doctor, but Charles collecting beetles over medical studies. Once mouth-held beetle, free hands catch two more. Dedication or insanity, both. Ever bored put beetle mouth? No? Don't understand Victorian upper boredom. Collecting required specialized knowledge. Not any fern, butterfly. Rare, valuable, preserve, disprove proper. Industries, guidebooks, equipment, expertise. Boredom commercialized, packaged, sold back solution. Ultimate boredom weapon. Fashion. Not like think, all-consuming, ever-changing, wildly expensive performance art, constant attention, massive resources. Picture fashionable Victorian lady, 1850s to 1860s, crinoline height. Dress held cage crinoline, steel hoops, fabric, skirt feet every direction. Crinoline pounds, plus petticoats, layers. Dress heavy fabric, elaborate trim, accessories. Dressing hour, least maid help. Can't self, fastenings back unreachable. Can't sit normal, arrange crinoline, no flip, expose legs, scandal, century. Can't normal doorways, sands sideways. Can't walk quick, natural. Every movement calculated, controlled, performative. Clothes expensive. Fashionable woman, dozens dresses, occasions, times. Morning, afternoon, tea gowns, evening, ball. Seasons, different fabrics. Fashion changed rapid, stylish year outdated next. Last season's silhouette, noticed, judged. Some wealthy women, hundreds, thousands dollars year clothing equivalent. Not personal expression, creativity. Fashion rigidly dictated social rules, trends. War society said, when, how. Fashion control form, prison, expensive. Men not exempt, less constrictive. Proper attire, every occasion. Morning, afternoon, evening, frock, tailcoats. Hats, different activities, shoes specific, walking sticks, status, gloves, perfect fit. Rules extensive, expensive. Strikes, time, money required, look appropriate. Not fashionable, acceptable, not judged. Baseline social destruction avoidance incredibly high, maintaining, consumed vast resources, attention. Kept occupied, what cost? Victorian sports, leisure, upper classes fill days, not hobbies. Elaborate social rituals, own rules, hierarchies, status proofs. Hunting. Upper classes, centuries, Victorians, excess art. Fox hunting, massive event, dozens people, hundreds dogs, rituals, clothing, huge expenses. Point, not catch foxes, display wealth, horsemanship, connections. Right hunting parties, crucial status. Big game hunting, travel Africa, India. Lions, tigers, elephants. Return trophies, heads, walls, skins, rugs, tusks, halls. Dining room, incomplete, sans tiger skin, rhino head. Never mind species extinction drive, colonial violence enable. Entertainment, status, bored, wealthy did. Think trophy rooms, full dead animals world. Each journey, expense, kill thought make interesting. Monument too much money, not enough purpose. Museums, boredom. Victorian upper pioneered recreational travel. Grand Tour century, Victorians democratized. Those afford, not very. Steamships, railways easier. Suddenly not live sans Paris, Rome, Athens, Cairo. Thomas Cook, 1840s organized tours. Initial domestic British, then Europe, beyond. 1860s to 1870s, wealthy mass pyramids, Colosseum, Parthenon. Collect souvenirs, photos, lengthy letters, home adventures. Fascinating, travel regimented. Guidebooks what see, think, time each site. Murray's handbooks, Baedeker essential. Not just travel, correctly, right things order, right opinions. Even escape routine became routine. Wealthy travelers brought routines. Stay hotels, British sensibilities, eat British food, speak English, socialize British travelers. Travel thousands miles, recreate Britain, warmer climate, better ruins. Like now, another country, nearest McDonald's. Perhaps most Victorian boredom solution, country house party. Own country estate, many upper did, host multi-day parties. Guests Friday, Monday. Between, elaborate meals, activities, entertainment, socialize, gossip, managed romantic intrigue. Country house party, actual social climbing, political, romantic scandal, upper classes happened. Away London, select list, rules bend more. Not break, bend. Acceptable married woman, understanding non-husband gentleman. Discreet, right people invited, wrong out, appearances day, even night different. Host, hostess orchestrate perfect. Guest list strategic, mix interesting dynamics, sans scandals. Food impeccable. Activities varied, entertain, structured propriety. Exhausting work, disguised leisure. Imagine guest one parties. Enjoy luxury, food, settings. Or feel suffocation, endless performance, hyper-aware, observed, judged. Probably both. Victorian experience nutshell. Pleasure prison, same time. Strikes all elaborate boredom fights, exhausting. Collecting, fashion, hunting, traveling, parties. Constant attention, resources, maintenance. Like upper classes created busyness structures, avoid facing emptiness. lives no purpose beyond status. Many knew. Victorian literature full, wealthy, miserable characters. Everything, feel nothing. Recognize hollow existence, can't escape, lose position, identity, world. So collected orchids, hunted tigers, traveled Egypt, hosted parties, bought dresses. Anything except ask, what for? Point maintaining miserable position, purpose life entirely display, performance, senseless rules, service. Some Victorians asked, started examining born system, things dangerous, started demanding change, not selves, everyone trapped cage versions. Boredom, not nothing do, no meaningful purpose, real agency, genuine connection beyond surface. Enough people recognize bored not need activities, but life structure fundamentally unsatisfying. Revolutions start. Victorian upper tried buy out boredom, collect away, fashion away, travel away. But boredom not resource problem, existential. No orchids, tiger skins, European tours fix. What started fix, challenge, new generation women raised luxury, decided not enough. Taught collect fans, arrange flowers, pour tea, said actually want matters. Want education, work, purpose. Want full human, not decorative object collection. These women sat enough tea parties, hosted enough country weekends, worn enough ridiculous dresses, performed respectability sleep, decided start demanding. Take intelligence, energy, creativity poured ornamental, redirect revolutionary. When did entire constructed Victorian respectability world started crack? Sometimes most dangerous give someone. Time think, notice cage, wonder bars necessary. 1880s to 1890s, Victorian women spent decades drawing rooms serving tea, performing respectability, thinking dangerous thoughts. Thoughts eventually exploded, movement changed everything. Called New Woman. Term emerged 1890s, described terrified traditional Victorians. Woman wanted beyond marriage motherhood, demanded education, careers, independence, even bicycles sans chaperone. Mocked cartoons, attacked sermons, warned medical journals, she didn't care. Emily Davies. Born 1830, watched brothers educated while she needlework. Expected satisfied, not. 1869-39, founded Girton College, Cambridge, first residential women college, England. Fought years women university exams. First took Cambridge 1869, though Cambridge grant degrees till 1948, not typo. Women study, exams, work, no official degree 79 years. But Emily Davies, no wait permission, did it. Found buildings, recruited students, hired teachers, built college nothing. People said women's brains couldn't hire education, studying damage reproductive systems, education unfit marriage, she kept building. Think Emily Davies' lot, 39, deciding done, waiting world change, change yourself. Audacity start university. Society says women shouldn't, difficult books. Not fighting boredom, weaponizing. By 1880s to 1890s, women's colleges opening England, America. Not easy, massive resistance, but opening. Women attending transformed. Learned math, science, literature, philosophy. Formed communities, educated women. discovered minds worth developing, ambitions pursuing. Then graduated, discovered education prepared nothing, almost no careers open educated women. Teaching maybe, give marriage. Nursing grueling, underpaid. Writing publishers take women serious. Law, medicine, business, academia, politics. Closed, locked, forbidden. Imagine 4 years proving same work men. Told only acceptable future same non-university women. Marriage, motherhood, household, tea pouring. Some accepted, married, used education better wives, mothers, found satisfaction. Others, furious. Justifiably, righteously. Tasted intellectual freedom, not back cage willingly. Bicycle enters. Sounds ridiculous. How revolutionary. But 1890's bicycle changed women everything. Safety bicycle, 1885. Unlike penny-farthing giant wheel, equal wheels, safe. Women rode. Victorian society lost mind. Bicycle meant women, mobility, independence, chaperone freedom. Ride faster, chaperone walk. Go places alone. Exercise, strength, physical freedom. Scandalized, modified clothing. Massive skirts, corsets, no bicycle. Women bloomers, loose knee-end trousers, shorter split skirts, cycling. Reaction immediate, hysterical. Doctors warned cycling damage reproductive organs, vibrations cause arousal. Yes, worried bicycles make women sexual. Moralists encouraged improper independence. Fashion magazines mocked. Cartoonists ugly masculine women bicycles, implying cycling unfeminine, undesirable. But women kept. 1896 estimate, 50% major cities women cycling regular. 50%. Despite mockery, warnings, pressure, got bicycles, rode away chaperones, corsets, restrictions. Literally rode away. Susan B. Anthony, American suffragette, 1896. Think bicycling done more emancipate women anything world. Gives women freedom, self-reliance, feeling. Understood freedom not political, legal only, physical too. Move space independently. Go want, when, sans permission. Bicycle gateway feminism. Experienced freedom, wanted more, all. Every restriction lifted, barrier removed, door opened. Not wanting, demanding, organizing, fighting. Suffrage movement decades, but 1890s transformed. Earlier polite, asked nicely, convinced men rational arguments women deserve vote. New generation done nice. Women like Emmeline Pankhurst founded Women's Social Political Union, 1903, militant. Chained railings, smashed windows, hunger strikes imprisoned, disrupted meetings, impossible ignore. Boredom radicalized? Partly. But decades watching hypocrisy, double standards, human potential waste. Sitting one too many tea parties whisper injustice's name, not challenge. One too many afternoons drawing rooms, brilliant minds discuss nothing stimulating weather. New woman emerged, drawing room like butterfly, corset cocoon, done decorative. Tell some women, extraordinary. Florence Nightingale, founder modern nursing, more. Born 1820, wealth, expected marry well, society hostess. Instead, statistician. Pioneered data visualization, healthcare reform. Wrote reports, changed army wounded treatment. Never married, said didn't want man's property. Ahead time, even now, not fully appreciate revolutionary. Beatrice Webb, born 1858, wealthy, expected, ornamental. Instead, socialist, economist, reformer. Husband founded London School Economics. Helped modern welfare state. Books influenced policy generations. Dismissed contemporaries, eccentric woman, not no place. Josephine Butler mentioned Contagious Diseases Acts. Full, born 1828, wealthy, married clergyman, children. Could conventional, comfortable. Instead, saw women less human, fought. Campaigns, speeches, pamphlets. Threatened, attacked, called awful names. Victorian had outspoken women, kept. Acts repealed 1886, credit her, organized women. Sophia Jex Blake, 1869, Edinburgh 7. First women study medicine, British University. Male students rioted women lectures, through mud, garbage, blocked doorways, studying near impossible. Edinburgh 7 persisted. Sophia qualified doctor, opened women medical schools. Career fought women's right doctors, heal, use intelligence service others. Love these women, came system. Raised, pour tea, polite conversation. New rules, forced, follow years. Looked rules said, stupid, cruel, wasteful, not following. Power new woman. Not outsider attacking. Insider, understood completely, rejected anyway. Socialized silence, chose speak. Taught small, chose space. Told value, pleasant, decorative, chose difficult, purposeful. Backlash intense. Medical journals articles educated women destroying health, unable children, too masculine, independent, unlikable. 1893 doctor. Higher education turning unsexed females, never husbands, as if husband-finding only goal. Novelists, cautionary tales, new women, alone, miserable. Newspapers mocked, cartoonists severe, ugly smoking, vice symbol, neglecting homes, children. Message. Happens women want too much, become monsters. But new woman not trying, liked, trying free. Victorian society, too incompatible. Liked or free, rarely both. New woman chose free, not alone. 1890s. Enough new women form communities, support networks, subcultures, own clubs, publications, circles. No traditional femininity perform. Smoke if wanted, discuss politics, comfortable clothes, careers, unmarried, sans pity. Communities provided drawing rooms couldn't, genuine connection. Not performance, real friendship. Women understood struggles, shared ambitions, frustrations, honest wanting more society offered. Think, felt, find people after years not fit. Walkroom women chose difficult over pleasant, purposeful over decorative, free over safe, relief, joy, validation. New woman movement, not politics, education, careers only, claiming right, full human. Desires beyond marriage, motherhood. Make mistakes worthy respect. Fail, try again. Ambitious, angry, passionate, complicated. Messy, real, instead perfect, false. 1900. Queen Victoria death. Victorian era official end. New woman significant victories. Women higher education access. Own property. Divorce abusive husbands. Victorian era taught. Control people. Repress. Bore. Submission. Eventually pressure builds. Someone asks why. One asks, others too. Soon elaborate control system crumbles. Collective agreement pretend rules sense. New woman didn't destroy Victorian society. Destroyed self-contradictions, hypocrisies, refusal human complexity acknowledge. New woman pointed obvious truth, refused quiet. But changes, victories, system cracks. Victorian legacy not disappear, Victoria died. Attitudes, double standards, appearance over substance, fear female sexuality / independence, perfection performance, hide private chaos. Continued, evolved, adapted, new forms. Understanding Victorian patterns still shape world. Go next. Victorian era didn't end 1901. Many ways still living shadow, fighting same battles, escaping same cages. Recognizing, key finally breaking free. We've spent nearly 3 hours together tonight. Drawing rooms, morgues, tea tables, bicycle paths, corsets, revolutions. Now Victorian era end. Queen Victoria dead 1901, new century. Might think goodbye Victorian strangeness, contradictions, hypocrisies. Uncomfortable truth, never really left. Still living house built. Rearranged furniture, pretended foundation changed. Show mean. 2025 telling story. Ask, describe, online presence versus real life. Gap, right? Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook version. Together, successful, happy, attractive, best life. Then you, bedroom, 2 a.m., scrolling phone, wondering. Good enough? Doing enough? Anyone knows real underneath performance. Sound familiar? Exactly Victorians. Public self perfectly corseted, proper, respectable. Private self, desire, doubt, boredom, desperation, longing more. Performance. Difference, corsets, digital. Drawing rooms, social media. Calling cards, LinkedIn profiles. Still performing, facades, terrified, cancelled. Modern, socially ruined stepping line. Mechanisms changed, fundamental anxiety identical. What if people see real me? One mistake, lose everything. Victorian reputation obsession, our personal branding. Scandal fear, our viral wrong reasons. Sexual double standard, still, argued differently. Man, multiple partners, admired. Woman, same, shamed. Language changed, no fallen woman. Judgment, Victorian core. Gossip, still exactly Victorian. Call-keeping news, informed current events. Consume celebrity scandals, same hunger Victorians. Trial transcripts. Share private lives, mistakes, failures. Judgments, incomplete info. Participate, public shamings, destroy lives/careers. Crowd, Lady Colin trial, readers buying papers. Every detail, other scandal, just faster delivery. Victorian boredom solution. Consumption, definitely us. Empty? Buy. Purposeless? Trip. Disconnected? Collect anything. Fill void? Stuff. Victorians, orchids, butterflies. We experiences. Instagram, Amazon products, unwatched streaming. Different objects, same emptiness. Victorian public morality, private vice. Tension, look around. Politicians, religious leaders, morality crusaders. Exposed, doing, condemned. Present perfect family values, private chaos. Love story, never tire. Same Victorians told, respectable man, prostitutes. Moral crusader, secret addiction. Perfect family, hiding abuse. Same patterns, hypocrisy, public shock, no happening. Really gets, performance perfection, struggling privately. Isolation, pretending, fine, not. Learned look, each other, see surfaces only. Victorians' drawing rooms, polite conversation, silently screaming. We, Zoom calls, curated backgrounds, composed faces. I'm good, how you? Lives falling apart off camera. Got good choosing reality slice show. Like Victorians chose display, drawing room, hide private chambers. Victorian domesticity cult. Women, natural home, highest calling, wives, mothers, still. Talk different. Women choose home/work, personal preference, nothing. Social pressure, economic, cultural messaging. Somehow, women still vast housework, childcare, even full-time work. Somehow, women's careers optional, secondary, men's essential. Somehow, work women judge not devoted children. Home women not ambitious. Can't win, like Victorian women. Game rigged. Rules changed, look fair. Idea women shouldn't too ambitious, loud, difficult, much. Victorian. Pressure likable above all, pleasant, smooth, not uncomfortable, small, non-threatening. Straight Victorian feminine playbook. Expanded acceptable, but fundamental expectation women prioritize nice over honest, accommodating over authentic, still, limiting, exhausting. But interesting. Like Victorian women tired performing, demanded change, seeing now too. Women speaking inequality, harassment, invisible labor expected. People questioning performance worth, perfect life supposed want, actually trap. Maybe honest struggling instead pretending thriving. Victorian era ended officially, Victoria died. But socially, culturally, psychologically, ended. Enough said. System broken, rules, lies, not pretending. Took decades, still happening, still dismantling Victorian attitudes century later. What learned Victorians? Point-time drawing rooms, gardens, scandals. First, perfection always performance, always. Behind perfect facade, human struggling. Victorians taught extreme, civilization gap appearance, reality. See someone together, remember Lady Colin Campbell. Family secrets, perfection, good acting. Second, boredom information. Bored, life empty despite activities, achievements, stuff. Not personal failure. Soul saying wrong. Structure problem, not you. Victorians filled orchids, travel, collecting. Didn't work. Can't fix structural individual solutions. Sometimes change structure. Third, repression doesn't work, ever. Victorians tried repressed sexuality, emotion, desire, individuality, exploded pornography, prostitution, scandal, mental illness, violence. Repressed, not disappear, underground, twisted. Healthier, acknowledge human experience full. Space, complexity. Stop pretending humans angels never desire, anger, need. Fourth, small rebellions matter. Every woman loosen corset tee, couple dark walk, person question senseless rule, chipping immovable system. Change slow accumulation. No need revolution start. Refuse play one performance piece, then another, till whole crumbles enough stopped holding. Fifth, perhaps most, community everything. Tea networks, women's colleges, suffragette organizations, secret spaces reel each other. Made survival possible, change possible. Can't fight system alone. Need people see, understand, hold breaking. Victorians built communities rigid society cracks. We keep building too. Think Victorians lot, obviously, talk 3 hours. Think because struggle's ours, questions ours. Live authentically world demands performance. Maintain connection society facades. Find meaning structures meaningless. Connect authentically world performances. Be good acknowledging not angels, free living cages. Didn't solve, haven't either, but tried, fought. Built cracks, still widening. Every right women now, freedom granted. From women bored, frustrated, angry enough demand different. Risked everything, reputations, security, lives, alternative one more day performing respectability dying inside. If performing now, maintaining exhausting facade, pretending fine not alone. Tradition centuries. Humans always struggled gap supposed be, actually are. Victorians high art. But don't keep performing. Loosen corset, metaphorically. Find tea table, community, safe space real. Question rules not serve. Difficult instead pleasant. Authentic instead perfect. Human instead ornamental. Victorian era taught society deny human nature. Builds control structures calls civilization. Demands perfection, punishes honesty. Doesn't work. System collapses contradictions wait. Only question, how long people suffer before admit emperor no clothes. Still process. Admitting, dismantling, building better ruins. Victorians started work. We continuing, children after. Slow, frustrating, happening. Maybe real Victorian legacy. Not teacups, etiquette books, elaborate dresses, but resistance, refusal, rebellion. Starts one person, enough pretending, then another, till elaborate control collapses, nobody holding. Victorian era over. Long live Victorian era, still living, fighting, learning, trying to build better left. More stories tell, histories explore, connections who were, who are. Stay, come back next journey. History not dead, not even past. Right here, now, every choice who be, how live. Until next, friends, sleep well, dream freely, remember, allowed take off corset, always were. Good night.